As you know, crooked Joe Biden and the radical left thugs who have weaponized law enforcement to arrest their leading political opponent, and leading by a lot, including Obama. I'll tell you what, you take a look at Obama and take a look at some of the things that he's done. This is the same thing. The country is very divided. And we did with Obama. We won an election that everyone said couldn't be won. We beat Hillary Clinton. Now, you know, I used to call her Crooked Hillary.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here. And for Republicans, the strongest case against Joe Biden has been his age. And if I'm being honest, head to head, I'm not sure which is struggling more, Joe Biden or Donald Trump. Alyssa Farrah Griffin is a former Trump official. She was in the White House Director for Strategic Communications. If anyone knows Donald Trump, it's Miss Griffin.
You know, Hezbollah is very smart. They're all very smart. Hezbollah and Hamas. Hamas, has anyone ever heard of? Hamas terrorists. I want a shield over our country. If you don't like our religion, then we don't want you in our country, and you are not getting in. What happened yesterday was incredible. I mean, so many people killed. Very big number. Very, very big number. And vicious, too. Vicious. Young children just slaughtered. It's terrible what's going on. So
it's kind of remarkable. I was watching some of the clips from Trump's visit to Iowa, and I'm stunned, having spent a lot of time with him in 2020 and years before. He is slowing down. There's a lack of sharpness in what he's saying, and a lack of kind of clarity. There's another clip where he basically says he's going to overturn Obamacare, but then also says that he fixed it. Just complete inconsistencies.
During a rally in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Donald Trump spoke to a crowd of followers, but his demeanor had many speculating. Rumors are that he's suffering from dementia and is in much worse shape than anyone is leading on.
Their windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before. Nobody does anything about that. They're washing up a show. I saw it this weekend. 3 of them came up. You wouldn't see it once a year. Now they're coming up on a weekly basis. The windmills are driving them crazy. They're driving the whales, I think, a little batty.
Farrah Griffin asserted that she spent a lot of time with Donald in years prior to the 2020 election and during it as well. She maintained that Donald is lacking sharpness in things that he's talking about. When Donald goes off script, he usually winds up sticking his foot in his mouth or getting himself in more trouble than he's already in.
We start in Iowa, we go to New Hampshire, we come down here. You know, the beauty was when I came here, everyone thought Bush was going to win. And then they took a poll and they found out Trump was up by about 50 points. Everyone said, what's going on right here? They thought Bush, because Bush supposedly was a military person. Great. You know what? He was a military. He got us into the Middle East. How did that work out, right? But they all thought that Bush might win. Jeb.
Donald may have the right to remain silent, but he definitely does not have the ability. He can never admit to the possibility of ever being wrong. Donald Trump is an egomaniac that has been caught in his lie and is desperate to convince everyone else that he's the victim of a witch hunt. Donald has never filtered the garbage that comes out of his nasty pie hole. He has told lie after lie, but his moronic base love him for it. They relate to him on a third-grade level. Donald used to be able to distinguish who he was attacking, too. He used to know what city he was in when he was addressing a crowd. His die-hard followers think that President Biden needs to be in a nursing home, but it's their own orange Lord and Savior that's showing obvious cognitive decline.
But Joe Biden is not the defender of American democracy. Joe Biden is the destroyer of American democracy. So if Joe Biden wants to make this race a question of which candidate will defend our democracy and protect our freedoms, and I say to Crooked Joe, and he's crooked, the most corrupt president we've ever had.
And this is a president coming back who has learned that he can break the law and get away with it. Somebody whose entire rationale for a second term is to get retribution against the people that he believes have been his enemies. In that context, having virtually nobody around him willing to stand up to him, to challenge him, having a second Trump term where you don't have people like John Kelly or the people that serve in the White House counsel's office, Pat Cipollone, Don McGahn, Bill Barr at the Justice Department willing to say no when Trump asked them to break the law.
Donald Trump wants to paint the picture that Joe Biden is too old to lead the nation, but it's he who doesn't seem to know who he's running against sometimes. Donald has claimed to be running against President Obama and has threatened to overturn Obamacare at times. At others, he says he would save it. His cult members make excuses for him and double down in their delusions to enable him. Donald Trump is a danger to democracy and to the world. Alyssa Farrah Griffin is absolutely correct in her assessment of Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a bumbling idiot. His enabling followers aren't any better, and that's an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.